والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So we're doing the class a little bit early tonight because of the time being switched back. So inshallah from tomorrow we'll be doing this class, the live stream after Salat al-Isha. So tonight, because we're taking the Believer's Handbook for seeking knowledge. So inshallah because we're taking the Believer's Handbook for seeking knowledge, and we're taking Sharia in this class. So tomorrow, inshallah, we'll be doing what? Bulugh al-Maram and Kitab Tawheed. Alhamdulillah, memorize the schedule. All right. So tomorrow, inshallah, starting from tomorrow, we were going to do it today, but inshallah, just because, like the brother said, the people didn't know what time we were going to do the live stream. So actually, if we'd done the live stream after Isha, we'd have been doing it at the time that we did it every single day.
Yeah.
Oh, but maybe
Well, it's too late now.
No, because
maybe they
go off in their time too. Like people in New York, or people in Canada.
Well, we're the only people. It's only America changing the time, anyways. All the people outside of America, they're not doing that. It's the same time as it was yesterday. It's just us. We live in this stupid country that does stupid stuff.
I heard that if they didn't change it, Fajr time would be at 9 a.m.
Huh?
I heard that if they didn't change it, Fajr sooner or later would be like at 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
No.
Yeah?
This is the natural time right now. They moved the clocks forward in the summer, to increase the daylight or whatever. I don't know what they do, right? So now they just moved the clocks back to the regular time. So this is what Fajr would be like right now.
5 p.m.
Yeah. 5 a.m.
Oh.
What are you talking about 5 p.m.?
Because you said right now.
No, I'm saying not right now. I'm saying right now, like today. Like when we prayed Fajr today, it's 5:15 a.m. That's when we called the Adhan, 5:15. So, he called the Adhan, but you get what I'm saying. So this is the natural time. Yeah. All that 6:15 and all that was not. That was because they moved the clocks forward. But this is the normal time.
So now we're back at normal.
Yeah, we're just putting the clocks back to the normal time.
And in March we put it back to the
No, we move it forward.
Yeah.
They jump it forward 1 hour.
To the fake time.
To fake time. Yeah. So nobody else in the world does this.
So we only have real time for 4 months.
So that means the time, quote unquote, will change in Ramadan. Because Ramadan's in March. And Eid is on April 1st.
I don't even know when they changed the clocks up. I don't know.
Because last year they changed it, I think
I'm honestly, I'm about to move to a state that doesn't change the clocks. Arizona, I think they don't change the clocks, right? So I'm moving to Arizona. What about Utah? Because they let you have more than one wife.
I don't know. There's there.
So if you got a law where you can have more than one wife and they don't change the clocks, mashallah, Jannatani, So what can you ask for after that?
I'm gonna go to Utah too.
Huh?
I'm gonna go to Utah.
Well, you got to get the first one first.
Yeah.
Before you worry about the second one. Yeah. All right. Now, so let's go. All right. So for tomorrow, inshallah, the class will be at, what's it now? It's going to be at 6:30, I guess you say. About 6:30, right? So what time is Aisha?
6:16,
6:15, I think it is, right? Yeah. So about 6:30, inshallah. 6:30 tomorrow we'll have the live stream. All right, so where did we stop at?
6:13.
We took the first hadith of Bab al-Tabassum, right? Tabassum. Tabassama means what? Smile. All right, so قال الإمام البخاري رحمه الله تعالى hadith number 251. حدثنا أحمد بن عيسى قال حدثنا عبد الله بن وهب قال أخبرنا عمرو بن الحارث أن أبا النضر حدثه أن سليمان بن يسار عن عائشة رضي الله عنها زوج النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قالت ما رأيت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ضاحكا قط حتى أرى منه لهواته إنما كان يتبسم صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is the first part of the hadith. This hadith is in Bukhari. So it's 2 parts. All right. So the first part of it is what Aisha radiallahu anha, she reported that she said that she never saw the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ضاحكا قط, that she never saw him laughing to the point where she could see lahawatihi, Now, we just took this word not too long ago. What does it mean?
Is it moral teeth?
No. اللحم المعلق
Oh, yeah.
من سقف الفم. And the lahawat, so it means that he's laughing so loud that you can see that part of the back part of his mouth. All right, he's laughing like so, heartily. So she said, I never seen him do that. And the whole time that she was with him. She said, إِنَّمَا كَانَ يَتَبَسَّمْ. Whenever something was funny, that he would what? He would smile. Now this is not saying that the Prophet ﷺ never laughed, but I mean he laughed. She's talking about her experience with him. The Prophet laughed. He laughed in battle one time. You don't know. They shot the arrow and the guy fell and got exposed. One of the mushrikeen, he fell and his backside came out of his, when he fell on the ground. Go look it up.
His backside came out?
Go look it up. Look up the hadith and ضحك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الغزو. So, I mean, he laughed, and he laughed hard. Like, they said that they could see his molar teeth because he was laughing. But, but this is a very rare occasion. It's a rare occasion. So, very, very rare occasion. The Prophet ﷺ was not, it wasn't his custom to laugh like that. Obviously, he would never laugh at people, like at the believers, like in a way it would be like embarrassing or, cause them any type of hardship. You find it.
كان أقول ضحك النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في الحرب.
في الغزو وفي الحرب. I'll just say ضحك حتى بدأ نواجذه أو أن حتى بدأت نواجذه. But I mean, that's also in warfare. There's things that are permissible that are not permissible outside of warfare. Like lying is permissible in warfare for the enemy, not for the believers. Deception is permissible in warfare. And there's a lot of different things, huh?
What about ambushing?
Yeah, it's deception. And also even fakhr, boasting and doing things like that is permissible within a certain confines against the enemy, not against, obviously you're not using that, So yeah, huh?
It is on the rule, but I can't really get it anywhere. Because this, it covers on the rule.
No, this is a different issue. This is in Kitab al-Tawheed. That was when the Hebrew came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, إِنَّا نَجِدُ في التوراة إن الله سبحانه وتعالى يضع الأرض على إصبع والسماء على إصبع. We're gonna take that in Kitab al-Tawheed, inshallah. What did you type? Type in the Philippas. I'll read the last part of the hadith, inshallah. If you don't find it, I'll find it. So, I call it وكان إذا رأى غيما أو ريحا عرف في وجهه. So she said, and also if he used to see غيما, what is غيم?
Small sahab.
Yeah, like the clouds when they're starting to, like the rain clouds, the dark clouds are coming together and they're starting to like يجتمعون. So he said أو ريحا or wind. عرف في وجهه, like they could see it in his face. Obviously not smiling. He wasn't smiling. Like they could see fear in his face, like concern. Huh? You find it? All right. So he said, after that she said, فقالت يا رسول الله إن الناس إذا رأوا الغيم فرحوا ورجاء أن يكون فيه المطر. So she said to the messenger, she said, "O Messenger of Allah, the people that they see these clouds forming, they get happy, فرحوا, in hopes that that rain is coming. وأراك إذا رأيته عرف في وجهك الكراهة." So she said, and I see, and it's actually a karahiyah. All right, the hadith in Bukhari is not al-karaha, al-karahiyah. The exact wording is in Bukhari. So she said, and I see you. If you see these clouds, we can see it we can see the dislike or the in your face, the concern. فقال يا عائشة. So he said to her, "Oh Aisha, ما يؤمنني أن يكون فيه عذاب." So what keeps me secure and safe that there's no punishment in what's coming? Because and you'll see He said, عُذِّبَ قَوْمٌ بِالرِّيحِ. He said, a people were punished because of a wind. He said, وَقَدْ رَأَى قَوْمٌ مِنْهُ الْعَذَابِ فَقَالُوا هَذَا عَارِضٌ مُمْطِرُنَا. And then another people they saw the punishment. رَأَى قَوْمٌ مِنْهُ, they saw from these clouds the punishment. And then he read the ayah from Surah Al-Ahqaf. He said, هَذَا عَارِضٌ. عَارِضٌ what?
عذاب مطلق عذاب عارض وآتي.
And the عارض is when the sahab ينضم بعضه إلى بعض. So when they saw that هذا عارض ممطرنا, these clouds are coming, and they're coming in our direction to bring us rain. No, they didn't see the punishment. They saw rain was coming and they got happy. So that's what he's saying, is that when they saw that, they said هذا and هذا عارض ممطرنا. But it wasn't. It was the punishment coming. But they didn't know that. They thought it was rain coming. So that's what he's saying. He's saying that, the people, they saw that type of punishment coming, or they saw the rain coming.
What kind of punishment was it?
Huh?
What kind of punishment was it?
One was when they got punished by the rain, and the other one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely flooded the earth.
No, people don't know hardship.
I mean, like the stones stuck from the sky?
Hmm?
Yeah, it's talking about
Destroyed the city?
No, that's from Komalut.
Mm. Talmud? Destroyed this.
Hold on, because I'm trying to hurry up and my mind's trying to get the wording of it. Because that's what we're talking about. We were talking about this the other day about Google. Oh, I turned my internet off, so you're going to have to wait even longer. We're going to read the chapter after this, inshallah. Go ahead and start because, oh, there it goes. It's kind of connected to this last part of the hadith. The other one was the tabassum, and this is about al-dhahik. Let's see if we got it. No, this is the same one. What happened?
You find out the questions.
What's wrong with them?
Too cold.
يعني واضح الجواب في السؤال.
Yeah, I think that's normal. It's wadah for you. But it's probably not wadah. It's not wadah for a lot of people. So same thing. When the people used to come and ask the sheikh questions all the time, I'd be like, God, man, you couldn't ask somebody in your village those questions. Like, you don't have a sheikh in your village, but they don't. They don't have anybody teaching them. So you gotta be, again, humbleness. Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us to understand things, you gotta understand that Allah didn't bless everybody with that same understanding. Some people, the most basic things in their religion, they're the most ignorant of. They don't even know. So we have to be patient. All right. So Bab al-Dhahik. All right. So this is hadith number 252. حدثنا سليمان بن داود أبو ربيع قال حدثنا إسماعيل ابن زكريا قال حدثنا أبو رجاء أبو رجاء is Muhriz ibn Abdullah. Muhriz ibn Abdullah. Thiqatun, some of the people say thiqa, some of the people say saduq. He's a mudallis. He does tadlis from maqul. But as we're going to see in this narration, that he doesn't narrate this hadith directly from maqul. He narrates this hadith from a person who's a wasita between him and maqul. So if he narrated it an maqul, then this hadith would be da'if. But he didn't do that here. So, all right. So he said, حدثنا أبو رجاء عن برد عن مقول عن واثلة ابن الأسقع. All right, and al-Burd is Ibn Sinan. Burd Ibn Sinan. All right, عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أقل الضحك فإن كثرة الضحك تميت القلب. And this hadith is authentic, and we're going to see it from the narration that comes after it also. So like I said, as far as Abu Raja' being mudallis, la yadur, because he didn't narrate it from the person that he can't do tadlis from. Alright, so here Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Aqilla al-dhahik. What does that mean? Reduce the amount of laughing that you do. Reduce your laughing. فَأَنَّ كَثَرَةَ الضَّحِكِ تُمِيتُ الْقَلْبِ. Because he said too much laughing what?
It kills the heart.
It kills the heart. Kills the heart. And so you see that from amongst the people.
Like, literally kills your heart?
Yeah.
So your heart will die?
Not death like a physical death.
Oh.
I don't want to say a spiritual death because spiritual it comes from jinn. But
To your soul.
like a dini death, like a religious death, not a
It'll seal your heart.
huh?
It'll seal your heart.
Yeah, like iman. Because you can't sit here and just see a person who knows that he could die at any single time, at any second, at any day, that anything could happen. And then you know that you're going to die and you're going to be held accountable for something. Is not the type of person who can sit around spending a lot of his day laughing and being entertained. So that already shows you that the person is not taking his time on this earth seriously. It's not saying don't laugh, but don't make it to the point of like where you spend your time, everything's got to be a joke, everything's laughing, and you laugh a lot. No. So there's a time for this and there's a time for that. Most of the time we should be serious, and we should be taking things seriously. But there's a time you got to relax, you got to chill. You're amongst companions, and the companions used to talk about things in the company of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I don't know if I wrote this hadith here, but they used to speak. Actually, I added it to my daily hadith book. I told you I'm adding like another 135 hadiths onto it. So that hadith is actually added to the book, but I don't have it with me. But basically, like one of the companions said, we used to recite poetry, and we used to speak about the days of Jahiliyyah, and they would be laughing in the presence of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he would smile. He would smile. So these are things that it's not that you don't ever do. And they be in the masjid doing it. So if somebody comes up to you and says, hey, like the Jama'at al-Tabligh, you can't talk about dunyawi things in the masjid, brother. No, the Sahaba used to, they're way better than you, and they used to speak about Jahiliyyah, their times in Jahiliyyah in the masjid, while the Adhan was being called at certain times. So for somebody to come up, again, it goes back to ignorance of the religion, why people say the types of things that they say. But then again, we're dealing with like the same people that if you're sitting there reading Quran out loud, they'll also tell you what?
Quiet down.
Yeah, quiet down, brother. You're disturbing people. How are you disturbing people? This masjid is for the recitation of the Quran. So Allah Musta'an. But I digress. So, but we shouldn't be spending all our time doing that. Like every time that we get together, all we're doing is just like every single night we're just getting together, laughing and joking and everything. No, there's a time for it. But the majority of the time we should be serious and not going to In-N-Out Burger and laughing and joking and drinking Dr. Pepper. And he's laughing right now. You see that?
No, there's a reason why.
Learning from the Sunnah.
It's because, right, on Friday, right, like literally like 2 minutes before you get khutbah, there was a...
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
I was like, oh. Someone right before he was like sitting right next to me, he was like, brother, please, we're trying to, you're disturbing people. Your voice is too loud, please. I was like, hey, you've never been in this mission. I just ignored him. I said, whatever, and I kept going with the same volume I was like, and that's what...
Yeah. They want this place to be like a museum, where you just come in here and just sit here and don't make a noise. Don't breathe too loud, don't make any noise. Nah, you read Quran out loud, you read Hadith out loud. This masjid is made for dhikr. Made for that, And I would be happy the day that I come in here and I see 50, 60 people in here reading Quran out loud, and the windows are vibrating, like from the sound of the people in the masjid. That's when I'll be happy. I come in here into like a silent, like ghost town, So
what do you call it? Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed is in there.
we got tumbleweed outside. We got that here. I've seen that going down the street in Fresno. Yeah. Because all that hay gets blown up in the wind. That's a tumbleweed.
Yeah, I've seen that in Clovis too.
Yeah, you don't get like the big ones that you see in the. I've seen it blowing across the street. Yeah. Because our house, where we live at, is all like old farmland. So and it's so that grass is not grass. It's like it's just like straw, I don't know what it is, man. So that stuff, it just dries up in the summertime and dies, and when the wind comes, it blows it all together, and it starts, throwing thorns all over the place. Yeah, we get a lot of sins taken away from us in the summertime, don't we? Summer and the winter. All right. So the next hadith also, it supports the first hadith, right? So hadith number 253, we're going to see it's basically the same one. Better hurry up and read it so he can stop laughing. All right. حدثنا محمد بن بشار قال حدثنا أبو بكر الحنفي قال حدثنا عبد الحميد ابن جعفر عن إبراهيم ابن عبد الله إبراهيم ابن عبد الله ابن حنين. There's a note here that in another nuskha they said an Ibn Abi Abdullah, but he's Ibn Abdullah Ibn Hunayn. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا تكثروا الضحك فإن كثرة الضحك تميت القلب. So he said the same hadith. And Abu Hurairah, he reported رضي الله عنه that the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, don't laugh a lot. فإن كثرة الضحك, because laughing a lot, it causes the death of the heart. Alright, we'll read this last hadith inshallah, because it's the last one in the chapter. Alright, so 254. Look at that, man. Look at that chunk out of the book already. See that? Hopefully, if we're still here in Ramadan, we're somewhere over here now. Alright, that's a big if. They're like, there's a big asterisk on that if we're still here in Ramadan. Alright, حدثنا موسى قال حدثنا ربيع بن مسلم قال حدثنا محمد بن زياد عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه. Actually, even if we leave, we'll still continue the class.
Jason.
Huh?
Jason.
Wherever we go.
Is there a live stream?
Huh?
Is there a live stream?
Yeah, we'll just keep the live stream going if we have to leave. Alright, so Muhammad ibn Ziyad عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال خرج النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم على رهط من أصحابه يضحكون ويتحدثون فقال والذي نفسي بيده لو تعلمون ما أعلم لضحكتم قليلا ولبكيتم كثيرا. So here Abu Hurairah رضي عنه, he reported that the Messenger صلى الله عليه وسلم, he came out to a group of his companions, between like 6 to 10 people. It's a small number of people, and they were of his companions, and they were laughing and they were talking, and he said to them, by the one in whose hand is my soul, لو تعلمون ما أعلم, if you know what I know, and obviously about the punishment in the grave, the punishment in Jahannam, the standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, if you know it, and obviously they know it because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught them, but if they know it in the manner that he knows it, because he was shown it, so he knows it with certainty that nobody could ever attain, not us, not in this life. We'll attain that certainty in the next life when we actually see it. But because he saw it. So even though he tells his companions about these things that are going to happen, they will never understand it and know it the way that he knows it. So he said, if you know the things that I know, you would have laughed little. You would have laughed little, and you would have cried a lot. We know this part of the hadith, right? But what most people don't recite or read is the rest of the hadith. Because normally when we read this hadith, we want to do what?
Right.
No, we want to scare the people. Because sometimes when the people are acting stupid, you can't give them bushra. You have to scare them. When people are acting stupid, you have to scare them. When they're acting right, you have to what? Yeah, you have to motivate them more to do more good. So you give the people who are trying to do good, you give them bushra. People that are acting stupid, you have to put that fear in their hearts, make them, remind them of what's coming. But the last part of this hadith, ثُمَّ انصَرَفَ, and then he went away. وَأَبْكَى الْقَوْمِ, and he caused all the people that were sitting there to cry. And we've seen this in another hadith where, the Prophet ﷺ, but this was not the same. This is not the same situation. In the other hadith, it was a mu'idah. وَعَضَنَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ مُوعِظَةً ما رأيت مثلها قط أو ما سمعت مثلها قط فقال لو تعلمون ما أعلم لضحكتم قليلا ولبكيتم كثيرا فغطوا أصحاب رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وجوههم ولهم خنين. So, and this was during a talk. This is a different narration. These are two different events. But during that talk, he gave the talk that was so strong, and he told them that in the talk, if you know what I know, that you would have cried little, and you would have laughed little, you would laugh little, and you would cry a lot. And upon saying that, all of his companions, they covered up their faces. And then وَلَهُمْ خَنِينَ. Khaneen is what? The sobbing sound that people make when they're crying. Like they're trying to hold it back. So you just hear it like that sound, where people are making this like crying sound. But it's not like that. It's more like that real loud sound. Khaneen. All right. But this is a different issue where he left and the people started crying. All right. وَأَوْحَى اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ إِلَيْهِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down and revealed to him. Revelation here, this hadith goes to show you that the revelation is what? The Quran and the Sunnah. Because this revelation that it was revealed to him was not from the Quran, it was Sunnah. Alright, so he said, إِلَيْهِ يَا Muhammad. This is the revelation, right? Ya Muhammad, lima tuqannitu ibadi. Why are you making my servants hopeless? Why are you making them feel hopeless? So this is what, and so faraja'a Nabiyu sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam went back to them. He said, فَقَالَ أَبْشِرُوا وَسَدِّدُوا وَقَارِبُوا. He said, receive glad tidings, all of you. وَسَدِّدُوا. We talked about this a lot. What? Go. When you try to do an action, you do your best to perfect that action. Do it in a perfect manner. Exactly the way that you're supposed to do it. وَقَارِبُوا. And if you're not able to hit the target on perfection, you don't get the bullseye, get as close as possible. And do it as close to perfection as you possibly can. And this hadith is sahih.
There's a question regarding what you said. So you said regarding the Prophet ﷺ that he's seen Jahannam without a shadow of doubt, and he's seen Jannah without a shadow of doubt. So you also said like the standing on the Day of Judgment. Does that mean like Allah showed him the future? Like part of the future, Allah showed him?
Allah showed him whatever He had to show him for him to have the yaqeen and be able to go back and teach the people what needed to be taught. Now, as far as the actual standing before the Day of Judgment, whether or not he saw it, Allah knows best. I don't know if I'm saying, but he's told the story about Musa. And Musa, is muta'alaq bil arsh, when everybody wakes up. And he said, I don't know if because Musa called sa'iq in the tur. So he said if it was maybe because of that sa'iq that happened to him at that time, so he didn't go out and he didn't pass out and get knocked out with the rest of the people, or he was the first one to wake up. He said, I don't know. But he said that he's standing there, muta'ala, and he's like hanging on to the arsh. Musa alayhi salam. So he saw this. Certain things, certain aspects. No, I'm saying these were, he didn't see this, but these are things that were told to him. And whether or not he saw them, Allah knows best. Obviously these events haven't.
So the standing on the Day of Judgment, whether Allah showed him or not, it's Allahu A'lam.
Okay. He was definitely told in a way that, it was very clear, because that's how he told the people. But the punishment, the grade, people being punished like that, he was shown that.
So was there anything from the future that Allah showed the Prophet regarding?
أريت مشارق الأرض ومغاربها وأن الأمة ستبلغ أن الله سبحانه وتعالى زوالي الأرض وأريت مشارقها ومغاربها. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought together the whole entire earth and showed it to him in one go, like the whole west of the earth and the whole east of the earth. Showed him the whole entire earth. And the ulama, they differ as far as the meaning of the hadith. Some of the ulama, they say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthened his vision, because our vision is weak. On the Day of Judgment, we'll be able to see from here until the end of the earth, because we'll be raised up. The Day of Judgment is right here. It's on this earth. It's going to be right here. The resurrection is going to be right here on this earth. So it's not going to be, but everything's going to be destroyed. But the basar, basar al-yawm, hadid. Like you're going to see everything clear. Like your eyesight is going to be 100% pure and strong. So you'll be able to see from here to the end of the earth. So some of the ulama say that.
So if you can see the end of the earth, does that make it flat?
Huh? I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just going to say that the Prophet ﷺ said on the Day of Judgment, تَكُونَ الْأَرْضُ كُلُّهُ كَخُبْزَةٍ. So it's like flat like a piece of bread.
Platform.
That's what the Prophet ﷺ said. In another narration, other than khubza, he said tabaq, like a tabaqa, like a plate. And it's going to be flat, and because everything's going to be flattened, and the earth's just going to be like one plane, and you can just see from one end to the next. Because obviously, people are being resurrected from all different areas, from everywhere from around the earth.
Is a whole platform, right? Like a platform? A platform?
No, I mean it's the earth. It's
Yeah,
just
the
going to
earth,
be
but
flat.
It's going to be like,
Yeah, because all the mountains, everything's going to be gone.
yeah, like a platform.
Like a platter.
Like a,
What were you going to say about the ulama interpretation?
the first thing is that he said that like Allah strengthened his vision so he could see the entire west of the earth and the entire east of the earth. And the other ulama say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought everything together and showed it to him, like, you know, and that's actually the stronger opinion amongst the ulama. And then he said that, you know, and he was shown where his ummah was going to reach. He said, this is where your ummah is going to reach, this area all the way down to this area. So he was actually shown that before it happened.
In Surah Ibrahim, you know, Allah said, يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ وَهَذَا الْأَرْضُ
We already spoke about that before. You asked me about this before.
It wasn't, I think it was when we were driving.
Yeah, but you
It was
asked
in
me about
Ramadan.
it. So what was the answer I gave you when you asked me about it the first time?
I forgot.
Oh, you shouldn't have forgot.
Because this was when I was on 2 hours of sleep when we were doing 4-hour tarawih.
Well, I remember that you asked me the question.
I mean, me too, but I don't remember the answer.
يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض. It means يبدل شكل. It's not going to be on the same shakl because everything's going to be destroyed. Everything's gone.
طبق.
Yeah, it's going to be flattened out.
Like the mountain, the gone.
Everything's gone. The trees,
The ocean
everything's
dried up.
gone. So the shakl of the earth that you knew living on it is not the same earth, but it's the same actual earth. You were buried in this earth. You're being resurrected from this earth. You're not going. It's either you go cross that sirat al-mustaqim and go into Jannah, or you know how they used to say that the earth is flat, and if you come to the end of the earth, you'll be thrown off of it. You'll be thrown off into the hellfire. Yeah, so I guess there is some truth to what they used to say, because the people will be dragged off and tossed into the hellfire. Yeah,
يوم
because we're
القيامة.
going to be on that platform like over hellfire. That's what this earth is. Below us is Jahannam, and above us, you know, is the Sab'a Samawat. So you got to go across the Sirat, and that Sirat, if you look at like just from here to like the moon, all right, and obviously the moon is not the distance that NASA says it is, because we can see that the moon is obviously a lot closer than these kuffar lie and say it is. But I'm saying it's still a long distance away, right? You know, could you imagine like having to walk on a tightrope from here to the moon? Oh, huh?
It's the bridge.
Walk
Oh, walk.
on a tightrope.
Oh, tightrope. I didn't hear the tightrope.
Tightrope, huh?
And the sirat's thinner than a tightrope. And imagine that one sama to the next sama is what? Masirat 500 am. 500 years of travel. And you have to walk that on as sirat al-mustaqim. And if you get snatched off of that, you're snatched off and tossed into the hellfire. That's not a joke. I don't think people, when they think about it, I don't think they try to imagine these things with like this dunya mind, you know, where it's like there's like a little small pit like the size of a well, and he has to walk over it. And he's like, oh, I'm going to Jannah. No, you're walking for probably a couple thousand years, akhi, just to get into the doors of Jannah. And then you're like, you can't even go into the doors of Jannah because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is all the way, he's on the other side. He's already at the door. He's on the other side of the sirat, saying, Allahumma sallam, sallam. You know, oh Allah, bring them across safely, making dua for the believers. And then the munafiqun, they're going to be on that sirat, and what happens to them? That light gets taken out. They get stuck in the darkness. Now, could you imagine now being on, like, the mu'min has a light so he can see, you know, he can see where he's walking because that light. So they're going to have that light in the beginning, you know, because they were mixed amongst the believers. But then once they get going, it cuts off. Yeah.
But يوم القيامة. No more سماوات.
No, there's still some hope.
No more سماوات.
Yeah.
Because يوم القيامة الأرض تبدل غير الأرض. New أرض. صح؟ What about السماء؟ صح؟
Open up the tafsir.
صح ولا لا؟
So you don't remember?
الأرض
You don't
تبدل
remember?
different أرض new أرض.
No, but it's not. It's not. No,
السماوات.
no. It's not a different earth. It's the same earth. It's a different shakl,
Yeah,
a
okay.
different appearance.
تمام.
Yeah, no, it's the same
What about
shape,
the
everything.
Samawat?
Just like all the stuff is gone. Like, because you're not here to live on this earth now. You're here for judgment now. You know, so it's not. It's a whole different. But it's the same exact earth. Because, like again, we're buried here. We're coming out of our graves on the day of judgment. You know.
يوم ابن كثير
Yeah, it's easier, it's faster.
يوم تبدل الأرض.
No, I don't want that part. I know that part. I'm gonna do it.
Because you say إذا السماء انفطرت إذا السماء كورت إذا السماء انفطرت
إذا الشمس كورت إذا الشمس كورت
كورت وانفطرت وانشقت.
No, no, no. إذا الشمس كورت
Three.
إذا السماء انشقت. أنت قلت إذا السماء كورت. No, إذا
You flipped them around.
كورت.
السماء انشقت وانفطرت.
No, no.
يعني
إذا
انفطرت
السماء
وانشقت.
I'm gonna.
الأرض تبدل غير الأرض. Look, three things.
إذا السماء
والأرض
انفطرت.
تبدل غير الأرض.
السماء انشقت. إذا الشمس كورت.
I'm gonna, cause this is a lot, akhi. I can't read all this right
والسماوات
now.
مطويات
I'm
بيمين.
gonna read that when I go home, inshallah. And
You
then
don't know Ibn al-Jawzi? Not Ibn
Nah, I
al-Jawzi.
went to Baghawi. Baghawi's even long. But
Sadi?
you gotta read, nah. You gotta read the narrations, akhi. I'm not gonna read Sadi, because Sadi's not gonna bring those narrations. I mean, you read what he says, because he's just gonna give you the talqis, but you still gotta go back and read the narrations. It's a lot, you know. It's like, even Tafsir ibn Kathir.
I know this is hard question,
Mm.
not easy question. Yeah.
Read it.
I mean, it's right there in the
Allah subhanahu
Tafsir.
wa ta'ala, he knows that.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
I'll try. Correct me also. The Nahu says, على الله تعالى.
Nah, but is that وإذا السماء انفطرت? Okay, طيب. But is that the sama dunya or all the samawat? So that's the issue. So Allah knows best. For now, until I read that, yeah.
So I have a question. When you cross that thin bridge, you're gonna be traveling 2,000 years?
No, you're gonna be traveling all that time on that bridge.
Yeah, how long is that?
However long it takes to get to the Baba Jannah.
It's not like fast as a lightning?
No, the true believers will be going like lightning.
Yeah.
And then the other believers, the other, righteous people, like Adab with al-Khair, they'll be moving like the best of the horses. And then other people be crawling,
So, is it going to take the same amount of time, but it's just going to feel like it's not? Or is it actually going to be a different amount of time?
No, the people that cross it like Kalbara, they're gonna move.
And plus, the day of judgment, obviously the laws of physics is going to be totally different on the day of judgment. It's not going to be the same.
Oh, these are laws of physics anyways. It's all theories anyways.
Are there really planets?
Huh?
Are there really planets?
Planets are just big stars. That's all they are. Yeah, it's just a big star. That's all
So
it
it
is.
isn't really there or not?
Yeah. I don't know, like, not Jupiter. I don't know what.
What about Venus?
Huh?
What about Venus?
Now, these are names that these kuffar gave these planets based on Greek gods.
Oh, really?
The Arabs, they had different names for all the stars.
Oh yeah, they had the Shuwair was talking about it.
No, the Shara.
No, Shuwair, Abdul Salam Shuwair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a Shara.
So is
No, the Shara's name is the name of the polar star, the northern star. Huwa Rabbu Shara. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it in the Quran, Huwa Rabbu Shara. Because they used to think like, they used to seek assistance with the stars for rain. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, well, Huwa Rabbu Shara. He's the one who created it, so you should seek anything that you need to seek from him.
وكذلك نري إبراهيم ملكوت السماوات والأرض. Malakut means like the universe, or what is that? Malakut. What is that? Tafsir.
What was your question?
so is Earth a planet or
No.
no? No. Okay.
Well, I told you, a planet's just a big star.
It's just the name they gave.
It's just a body of light. If you look up all these planets and all this on a high-powered microscope, all you're gonna see is what?
Yeah.
Just light. It's just the blink. It's like light. That's all it is.
What is Earth called?
Hmm.
What is Earth called?
Al-Arab.
That's in how it's instead of autonomy.
Al-Arab. Yeah. And the word Earth was taken from the Arabic language. Yeah.
Earth.
Earth is Arab. Yeah.
Did you want me to read what Saadi said? Or?
Go ahead.
sorry, بس نحو. Allah said, يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار.
That's not. What did that?
No.
Read the ayat again.
يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار. سعدي said, like, أي إذا أرادوا أن ينتقموا من أحد فإنه لا يفوته ولا يعجزه، وذلك في يوم القيامة يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات، أي تبدل غير السماوات، وهذا التبديل تبديل الصفات لا تبديل الذات، فإن الأرض يوم القيامة.
سمعت يا عمو؟ سمعت؟
Want me to reread it?
Reread it.
يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات، أي تبدل غير السماوات، وهذا التبديل تبديل الصفات لا تبديل الذات.
تبديل الصفات لا تبديل الذات. الصفات يعني على غير صفاتها المعروفة.
يعني مذكور السماء والأرض
ذاتها
تبدل.
ذاتها موجودة يعني كما هي، وصفاتها متغيرة. Any questions before we go to
معناته
Sharia?
بتحول الأرض والسماء إلى الجنة، إلى جنة، أرض جنة. السماوات السبع والسماوات السبع الأرض يتحولوا هم الجنة.
الله أعلم.
إن شاء الله، قل إن شاء الله.
It says the second volume of the book.
Maybe the uncle could be right. Because regarding like the أرض will return into Jannah, because Allah said, you know, قال الحمد لله الذي صدقنا وعده وأورثنا الأرض نتبوأ من الجنة حيث نشاء. You know, Surah Al-Zumar. So, wow.
اللي وهذا إيش الآية تقول؟
Like, you know, أهل الجنة they're going to say وقال الحمد
لا
لله.
بالعربي الآية نص الآية. اللي ورثنا الحمد لله الذي ورثنا.
وقال الحمد لله الذي صدقنا وعده وأورثنا الأرض نتبوأ من الجنة حيث نشاء.
هنا الآن في كنتاكي تسوي الأرض والجنة.
ولا أورثنا الأرض. من الذي يرث الأرض؟ في الأخير المتقون. خلاص. You know, that's different. That was at that time when نتبوأ من الجنة حيث نشاء. You know, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid out Jannah so we can go through it as we wish.
يعني أعطانا الأرض أولا وبعدين تتبوأنا من الجنة.
Yes.
يوم القيامة. معقول.
Any questions? Hurry up, man, because this is a Sharia is going to be a long one. And if we take too long on this, we're not going to have time to take we got to take the class afterwards. All we're taking is just a seeking knowledge book, right? After Isha.
No, because the reason
Because we already took the daily hadith.
The reason when I said about al-Arad, because I remember I read Tafsir al-Sa'di a while back, and for the Arad, he said like Arad al-Jannah. That's what we meant. Someone named Muslim says, select specific products you want as a gift for an occasion like a wedding. Then you send the link, and in the link it has all of the products you want as gifts. And people buy it as a gift for you. And you're asking like, what's the ruling on that? Like a gift registry.
Wish list?
Like a gift registry is when a person selects, and then
Yeah, she just do things like normal people, man.
you get a job.
It's like okay, look, in Yemen, if the woman she just had a baby, they're gonna find out is it a male or a female. They're gonna buy the baby clothes, they're gonna buy her diapers, they're gonna buy her whatever things that she needs. She don't need to put up a whole website and saying I want this and I want this and choose what you're gonna buy for me. You should be happy anybody buys anything for you in the first place. It's, you know, just be normal. Just do things normal. Just, you know.
Muslim says,
Like all this stuff actually I don't notice, like all this internet.
All this stuff is bid'ah and it's emulating the kuffar, gender reveal, baby shower, all these type of things. These people come up and invent all these celebrations and all these scams and all these things, and we're just following them one step after the other step. None of this stuff doesn't come from us.
Yeah.
None of this is from Islam.
Hey, if you want to get the person a gift, get the person a gift. You're afraid like, okay, I don't know what to get the person, give them an envelope with some money in it and say, here you go, get what you need. You know, but generally that's what the people are gonna need. They're gonna need diapers if it's a baby, right? They're gonna need diapers. They're gonna need clothes. They're gonna need these are things that are gonna cost the most money, right? But you know, so just spend on one person, get the stuff that they need. If it's a person like, for example, they're getting married. Think, what does a married person need? Okay, they're gonna need like a blender. They're gonna need, you know, electronic, you know.
Coffee machine, Moroccan Thobes, special.
Yeah, you ain't putting your wish list up on here, man. Look at this. Go open up your own
I see the
website.
opportunity, I have to take it.
No, cut that out. Cap cut thing or whatever that
Brand
thing
new
is.
toaster, brand new coffee machine.
Toaster with a touchscreen.
Huh?
Toaster with a touchscreen.
Toaster with a touch screen on it.
Samsung refrigerator.
Yeah.
Toaster with a touch
A
screen.
new shoe rack.
It's this
What else? Big.
generation, we used to toast
What do you
our
need a
bread
touch screen on a toaster for? Hey, I mean, what was so difficult about?
Because it shows the type of toast you want, how much toasted.
We know what type, 1 through 10. We know, or is it 1 through 5? You
No, we
crank
know.
it up where you want it.
light dark.
Yeah, and we don't do that anyways. We always put it all the way on dark, down, wait 10 seconds, pop it up. Nope, not ready yet. You know, yeah, come on, you're destroying the fun.
Samsung refrigerator. Anyways.
Man, let's get them an igloo ice box. You know, there you go. This is what you're gonna keep your food in. Yeah.
To tie your food in a bag in the mountains and put it under a really cold river to keep it
A ring camera.
fresh or neat.
Man, would you ask the question? Sorry, man. He's over here like putting out his.
Tie your bag and you put it under a river, your meat,
Mm.
where the water is flowing, because the water is under 40 degrees, and it keeps your meat fresh.
Yeah. Or you can just make it into jerky.
Yeah, you can do that too.
That's what they used to do in the old school. Whatever they couldn't eat within 3 days.
Where I come from, you smoke everything, you salt it, hang it up, and heat up of it all.
Yeah, that's what you just
Feel
read.
everything, smoke it.
Yeah,
hang
whatever
it
you
up
can't eat it in 3 days,
Yeah.
jerky or smoke it or whatever. Huh.
The same questioner, Muslim, says, is a husband considered a mahram to his wife? قلت الجواب في السؤال وأنت نهيتني عن هذا.
Yes, he's a mahram first.
تذكر نهيتني عن هذا.
He reminded me, so I calmed down.
Same questioner says, is it permissible to call your wife qalbi or hayati?
It's better to avoid those types of terminology.
Like my heart. and my life. Questioner NK says, is it permissible for a woman to put in her conditions of her
I mean,
marriage?
for one, a man saying that type of stuff anyways. أنت قلبي, أنت حياتي, أنت عزيزتي. يا أخي, that's okay anyways. I mean, for a man, I mean, you know, that's being for a woman to say that to maybe to man or something like that, but for a man to say,
ما احنا تكلمنا before. The women look like barrows. Be careful.
she looks like what?
Nice barrows.
Oh, قارورة.
قارورة.
Yeah.
Nice. رفقا بالقوارير.
Yeah, رفقا
Not if
بالقوارير.
قلت لها you my heart, you my. It's okay. It's good word. No problem. No shirk. It's okay.
No shirk. Okay.
You my love, you my heart, you my everything, you my life. كلها الحياة. المرأة هي الحياة.
Give him the chair.
الماء والمرأة. هو الحياة. الماء والمرأة.
Wallah, you make me miss Yemen so much, you know that.
I think like that.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying, I'm serious. You make
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
No ماء without ماء ما فيش حياة. Without مرأة ما فيش حياة.
Depends. مرأة صالحة.
مرأة صالحة.
مرأة خبيثة. والله, there's a good life without her. It's like, والله حياة طيبة بدونها.
مش حق البوي فريند والجو فريند نو.
No, I'm saying إذا كان عندك امرأة خبيثة في حياة طيبة بدونها يا أخي. Yeah. There's no life with a bad woman. Yeah.
None.
Huh?
None.
Even for the woman to be with a bad man, that's not a life, man. That's a,
نتكلم عن المرأة المسلمة.
That's a hell.
huh?
نتكلم عن المرأة المسلمة.
ايه
Yes.
في تفاوت بين المسلمين اخي في خير وفي دون ذلك. So you know, that's that. So you can get a woman that's a Muslim woman, but she still drive your hair gray, man. Seriously. It's the reality.
يلا نصلي.
We gotta
صلاة
finish.
ولا حاجة؟ No break?
We're gonna pray, but we gotta finish this class up.
Is it permissible for
Y'all
women?
keep joking. We'll be here until 10 o'clock. Go ahead.
Is it permissible for a woman to put in her conditions of her marriage that her husband always has to wear thobe as his normal attire, except in situations where it's not allowed? Example, work.
I mean, the conditions that she puts are up to her. You know, I mean, she's actually putting a condition that he dress like a Muslim. What a beautiful condition. But it's he accepts it or rejects it. Come on. If he accepts it and marries her, then he's got to fulfill the condition. That's it. You know?
For Adwa al-Bayan, is it better to get the print by Adab ibn Hazm or Dar? I think I'm saying it right. Al-Almiyya. Al-Ilmiyya. Al-Alm. I don't know.
علمي.
Daughter Ibn Hazm is generally, their prints are a lot better. I haven't seen the Daughter Ibn Hazm. I've seen it, but I haven't sat down and read through it. I've seen it only in the bookstores in Saudiya. Because like this is Daughter Ibn Hazm. So I mean, you see how clean their prints are.
You have to call Saddam.
All right, so let's take this hadith so we can pray, inshallah. Is this going to be long? Huh?
محمد بن عبد الوهاب شيخ الإسلام. محمد بن عبد الوهاب شيخ الإسلام.
Shaykh al-Islam is just a terminology they use for a person. It's like a mujaddid of his time. So he was like the Shaykh al-Islam of his time. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah was the first person that they put that, gave that laqab to, was for his time. So yeah, so they might say somebody like Shaykh al-Albani, rahimahullah, is like the Shaykh al-Islam of our time, So yeah, it's just a nickname, yeah. All right, so hadith number 7. So we're in a Sharia. قال الإمام العجوري رحمه الله تعالى. I don't know. I'm going to read it from here, but then I'm going to have to read the entire hadith. So he said, well, I'll just read the entire.
What chapter are we on?
We're on hadith number 7. Hadith number 7. All right, so حدثنا أبو بكر جعفر بن محمد الفريابي قال أخبرنا هدبة ابن خالد قال حدثنا أبان ابن يزيد قال حدثنا يحيى بن أبي كثير أن زيد بن السلام حدثه أن أبا السلام حدثه أن الحارث الأشعري حدثه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الله تبارك وتعالى أمر يحيى ابن زكريا. See, I'm going to stop here. I read the chain of narration, right? Because he doesn't bring the whole entire hadith. So, and I remember that I actually wrote it by hand. That's the entire hadith. And now you can see why he doesn't, but the entire hadith is actually very beautiful. And but he didn't want to bring this because he didn't want to have the entire hadith. So then I remembered, I was like, I ain't going to sit here and write out that whole hadith. And I don't have, but then I remembered, I said, oh yeah, I wrote it here at the beginning of this book.
Saddam coming. Saddam, he coming. I have to be there at 7:30.
All right. So the hadith عن حارث الأشعري رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الله أمر يحيى بن زكريا بخمس كلمات. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Yahya ibn Zakaria with five things. 5 kalimat, it doesn't mean 5 words, because kalimat in the Arabic language tutlaq ala jumla. It's a complete sentence. Yeah. So we like say, kalimat al-tawheed is what? La ilaha illallah. It's a sentence. It's not just one word. So bi khamsi kalimatin, it means 5 things that he ordered. And ya'mal bihin. وَيَعْمُرْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل أَنْ يَعْمَلُوا بِهَا. So he said, or يَعْمَلُوا بِهَا وَيَعْمُرُ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل أَنْ يَعْمَلُوا بِهَا. So he commanded him to act upon it, and he commanded Bani Israel to act upon it. So وَأَنَّهُ كَانَ أَكَادَ أَنْ يُبْطِيَ بِهَا. And he was kind of like, he was slow to go out. He was commanded, but he didn't just go straight out and tell them. He was waiting and waiting. So فَقَالَ عِيسَى عليه السلام. So Isa told him, إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَمَرَكَ بِخَمْسِ كَلِمَاتٍ. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded you with 5 things. لِتَعْمَلَ بِهَا وَتَعْمُرُ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل أَنْ يَعْمَلُوا بِهَا. It's for you to act upon and for Bani Israel to act upon. فَأَمَّا أَنْ تَعْمُرُهُمْ وَأَمَّا أَنَا آمُرُهُمْ. So either you go and tell them, you go and command them, or I'm going to go and command them. Because he, like I said, he was waiting. He didn't go directly, so Isa told him, either you do it or I'm going to tell them. So he said, فَقَالَ يَحْيَى. So Yahya said, أَخْشَى أَن سَبَقْتَنِي بِهَا أَن يُخْسَفَ بِي. So he said, I'm afraid that if you were to go out and tell them before me, that the earth would swallow me up. And يُخْسَفَ بِي, like the earth would swallow me up. أَوْ عَذَّبْ, or I'll be punished by Allah. فَجَمَعَ النَّاسَ فِي بَيْتِ الْمَقْدِسِ. So he brought all the people together in Bayt al-Maqdis. فَامْتَلَأَ الْمَسْجِدِ. And the masjid was completely full. وَقَعَدُوا عَلَى الشُّرَفِ. And then they sat on a shuraf. A shuraf is a makan al-murtafi' for the masjid. Alright, so they had like these little areas that
Look
were
like
raised.
this, balcony.
Yeah, but for a place to sit in. You know, like in the restaurants like in Saudi, where they have that place that's murtafi', so you can sit on the ground or you can sit at the table like that. So like raised up places.
In Sana'a. They have them in Sana'a too.
They have them in Sana'a, Saudi, all over the place, yeah. Alright, so he said, على شرف. فقال إن الله أمرني بخمس كلمات. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded me with 5 things. And أعمل بهن. And to act upon them. وأمركم أن تعملوا بهن. And to command you to act upon them. أولهن. And he said the first of them is أن تعبدوا الله ولا تشركوا به شيئا. That you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you don't associate any partners with him in worship. وإن مثل من أشرك بالله. He said, in the example of a person who commits shirk with Allah, كَمَثَلِ رَجُلٌ اشْتَرَى عَبْدًا مِنْ خَالِصِ مَالِهِ بِذَهَبٍ أَوْ وَرَقٍ. So he said that, committing shirk with Allah is like a person, he takes, from his wealth, and he goes and he buys a slave, right? And he brings the slave and says, look, this is my land. And this is what he's going to say, right? He says, so he buys him either with gold or with silver. فَقَالَ هَذِهِ دَارِي. This is my house. وَهَذَا عَمَلِي. And this is what I have to do. فَعْمَلْ وَوَدِّ إِلَيَّ. Do what, we're going to do the work and you bring back whatever, bring back the money back to me, right? Because that's the whole point, right? So he said, وَدِّ إِلَيَّ فَكَانَ يَعْمَلْ. But then he goes out and acts, he goes out and works in the fields, and then what does he do? وَيُؤَدِّ إِلَى غَيْرِ سَيِّدِهِ. And he takes everything that he collects and then he gives it to somebody else. He gives it to like the neighbors or gives it to somebody else. And he said, فَأَيُّكُمْ يَرَضَ أَنْ يَكُونَ عَبْدَهُ كَذَلِكَ. And who amongst you would like his servant to be like this? So it's like when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you blessings, He's giving you everything and this is the example. So what do? You take the blessings and who do you give back the thanks to and the gratitude and the shukr and you give it back to somebody else. You give it to somebody who didn't give you anything. Allah gave you everything, but then you, by committing shirk, you're actually thanking what? Somebody else. You're giving the shukr to somebody else. He said, وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ أَمَرَكُمْ بِالصَّلَاةِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded you to pray. فَإِذَا صَلَيْتُمْ فَلَا تَلْتَفِتُوا. So if you pray, فَلَا تَلْتَفِتُوا, it means don't what? Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't look up, don't turn away in the salat. Alright, like be in a state of khushu'. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يَنْصِبُ وَجْهَهُ لِوَجْهِ عَبْدِهِ فِي صَلَاتِهِ. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يُقَابِل. يَنْصِبُ here, it means يُقَابِل. يُقَابِل وَجْهَهُ. It means what? That he faces the face of his servant in the salat. Alright, Yeah. Alright. Now, of course, this is بِمَا يَلِيقُ بِجَلَالِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, this is not to be metaphorical. This is not metaphorical. This is as he said. Because again, the prophets do not speak in metaphors. They're not poets. Alright, so when they say this, they mean it as it is. But does that mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is face to face? No, we don't know. بِمَا يَلِيقُ بِجَلَالِهِ. Because you got to understand, like all of this heavens and the earth is nothing. It's like even to like an angel. It's just like, like this. It's very, very small. Because Jibril, just in his natural form, the Prophet ﷺ said what? Sadd al-ufuq. Sadd al-ufuq, it means he took up the entire horizon. The entire horizon. That's all you could see was Jibril. So imagine, like, Jibril to this earth is just like, I should have flipped the book, but like literally like nothing. Can you save the questions until we finish?
So what we're talking about, the day of judgment?
Now, but we're not talking about that now, so save the question, inshallah. All right, so he said, بالصلاة فإذا صليتم فلا تلتفتوا فإن الله ينسب وجهه لوجه عبده. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala faces the face of his servant, so don't turn away in salah. Stay in a state of khushu'. He said, وَمَا لَمْ يَلْتَفِتْ, as long as he doesn't turn away. وَآمَرُكُمْ بِالصِّيَامِ, and I command you to fast. فَإِنَّ مَثَلُ ذَلِكَ كَمَثَلِ رَجُلٍ فِي إِصَابَةٍ. Alright, so he said an example of a person who's fasting is a person who's like بَيْنَ إِصَابَةٍ. Isaba, it means what? A jama'ah, like a group of people. Alright, he said he's in a group, he's amongst a group of people when he has a surah. Surah fiha misk. A surah is like the bags that they used to use to keep their money in. But in this bag that he has, it has what? It has misk. And he's just sitting amongst the people with this bag full of misk. And what? And then, and obviously what are the people going to say? MashaAllah, man, what's that? What you got in that bag, man? That smells good, because he's got, we're not talking about the oil, he's got the misk, like the actual misk in there, not the oil, the actual, because it comes out of the ghazal, so in its natural form. So he's got this in the bag, and of course they're going to be like, well, that's beautiful smell. So he said, فَقُلْ where am I? You see how I'm trying to read this, I keep losing my spot. Alright, so he says, Surah fiha misk, فَكُلُّهُمْ يَعْجَبُوا أو يُعْجِبُهُ رِيحَهَا, and everybody's amazed by the good smell. He said, وَأَنَّ رِيحَ الصَّائِمِ أَطْيَبُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ مِنْ رِيحِ الْمِسْكِ. And he said that the smell of the mouth of the person who's fasting is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the smell of the misk is to the people. Alright. He said, وَآمَرُكُمْ بِالصَّدَقَةِ, and I command you to give charity. فَإِنَّ مَثَلُ ذَلِكَ كَمَثَلِ رَجُلٍ أَسَرَهُ الْعَدُوُّ. He says, so I command you to give charity, because the example of this is like a person who is, the enemy has taken him captive. Alright, he's taken him captive. فَأَوْثَقُوا يَدَهُ إِلَى عُنُقِهِ. And they've what? They've chained his hands to his neck. Alright, chained his hands to his neck. وَقَدَّمُهُ لِيَضْرِبُوا عُنُقَهُ. And they've chained up his feet, and they changed it all to do what? Alright, لِيَضْرِبُوا عُنُقَهُ, so they can what? Beat him, basically torture him until killing him, right? Alright, so he said, this is very hard to read from. فَقَالَ أَنَا أَفْدِيهِ مِنْكُمْ بِالْقَلِيلِ وَالْكَثِيرِ. So he said, I'm going to what? Give as a sacrifice. You're going to have to look this up, because I don't even know. I can't even barely read what I wrote here. He said, وَأَنَا أَفْدِيهِ مِنْكُمْ بِالْقَلِيلِ وَالْكَثِيرِ فَفَدَاءَ نَفْسَهُ مِنْهُمْ. So he said, I'll give anything up just to, let me go. Whether it's a little or a lot. So basically, like the sadaqah, it becomes like the thing that purchases you out of that captivity. Because what you're doing by, by giving sadaqah, you're just like the Prophet ﷺ said, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ بَائِعٌ نَفْسَهُ فَمُعْتِقُهَا أَوْ مُوبِقُهَا. Like everybody, يَغْدُو, they go out early in the morning for بَائِعٌ نَفْسَهُ. He's selling himself to either his destruction or for his freedom, to buy his freedom. And that's probably, more than likely, that's what it's meant here, because the sadaqah is like you're giving sadaqah to purchase what? Your freedom from destruction, your freedom from punishment. Just like that asir, that person who's held captive. He said, I'll give you anything, whether it's a lot or a little, just let me go. Just let me get out of this punishment. And then he gives everything that he has as a sacrifice just to get out. Alright. Then he said, وَآمَرُكُمْ أَن تَذْكُرُوا اللَّهِ, and I command you to remember Allah. فَإِنَّ مَثَلَ ذَلِكَ كَمَثَلِ رَجُلٍ خَرَجَ الْعَدُوُّ فِي أَثَرِهِ. And he said the example of the person who constantly remembers Allah is like the person who leaves out. He's going out and the enemy is following his tracks. Like the enemy is on his tracks trying to catch him. Sira'an, and he's and they're moving quickly to try to catch him. Hatta إِذَا أَتَى عَلَى حَصِينٍ, until he comes to like this fortress, like this fortress that's like completely protected. Like once he gets into this fortress, the enemy he can't get into it. He says, so he comes to this Hasan al-Hasin, فَأَحْرَزَ نَفْسَهُ مِنْهُمْ. And so he gets into this Hasan, and he closes up everything, and he's protected from the enemy. They can't get to him now. Alright, كَذَلِكَ الْعَبْدِ لَا يُحْرِزَ نَفْسَهُ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ إِلَّا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. And just like this, that Hasan, that fortress for the believer against the shaitan, is the remembrance of Allah. So by remembering Allah and staying in the remembrance of Allah, you're putting yourself in that fortress, and shaitan he can't get into it. It's like an impenetrable fortress. Alright. He said, Qala Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is now where this hadith picks up, so I can read it from here now. So he said, وَأَنَا آمُرُكُمْ بِخَمْسٍ. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I'm going to command you with 5 things, because he mentioned the things from Yahya ibn Zakaria, but now he said, now I'm going to command you with 5 things. أَمَرَنِي اللَّهُ عَزَّ وَجَلْ بِهِنْ. These are things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded me to tell to command you. He said, the first thing is al-jama'ah, to stay with what? To stay with the jama'ah, and don't be from the mutafarriqeen, and what? And how do we stay with the jama'ah?
Agreeing with the Prophet came with.
Yeah, staying on the haqq, staying on the truth, staying on the correct understanding, staying with the Quran and the Sunnah, and not going against that, even if everybody turns away from it. Everybody starts to make the halal haram. Everybody starts to, make disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala seem like it's obedience to Allah. They make bid'ah like it's sunnah. Everybody turns away from the correct guidance. You remain on the correct guidance. You remain on the Quran and the Sunnah, even if you're alone. Because what did Abdullah ibn Mas'ud say? I gotta ask. I should have asked Abdul Malik, man.
You can still ask him.
That's good. What is it? The jama'ah, what?
That you're the jama'ah even if you're by yourself.
Yeah, the one that agrees with the truth. مَا وَافَقَ الْحَقُّ وَلَوْ كُنْتَ وَحْدَكَ. There's got to be a question connected to this.
No, it is.
All right.
So the Jama'ah, you're still with the people, with the Jama'ah?
No, it's not meaning being with the people. It means the jama'ah, you stay with the truth.
The truth, but
Even if you're alone. You are the jama'ah. You could be in Fresno, and you're the only person calling the people to the sunnah. You are the jama'ah. All the people that go against it's not because, again, most of the people, it doesn't matter, they're going to follow misguidance.
yeah, okay,
So you are the jama'ah, even if you're alone. Even if you're alone, so no. So he said, he said a jama'ah. He said, was sam' wa ta'ah. What is that?
Hearing and obedience.
Hearing and obeying for who?
To Allah and His Messenger.
Huh?
To Allah and His Messenger? Oh, to the way of the Amr. Sorry. I was thinking, وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. That's what.
Yeah, for the wali al-amr. Alright, for the Muslim, any authority that's been placed over us, as long as that person is a Muslim, even if he's a fasiq, even if he's oppressive, we hear and we obey. We don't follow him in the disobedience to Allah, but we don't take away obedience to him in obedience to Allah. But if he commands us to do something that's disobedience to Allah, we don't obey him in that thing. Not like the Khawarij say. The Khawarij say if he commands us to do disobedience to Allah, then khalas, we completely take away all obedience to him. No, we don't obey him in the thing that he commands us to do. But if he obeys us in anything that's obedience to Allah, or even if it's mubah, like we talked about, the wali al-amr, he's a Muslim ruler, and he says put on a seatbelt. Put on a seatbelt. And if you don't put on a seatbelt, then you consider, and these things, because it's mubah. It is nothing that goes against the Quran and the Sunnah. Nobody's trying to tell you, the seatbelt's going to save your life. Nobody's telling you to put your trust in the seatbelt, but you're doing it because this is what he commanded you to do.
Even if he...
If he set speed limits, you obey the speed limits. He put a stop sign there, you obey the stop sign.
Even if he calls you to do something that's disobedience to Allah, you still follow the seatbelt stuff, yeah?
Yeah, you follow everything else, but you don't
Follow what's disobedience.
You don't, like if, for example, he says, everybody get together and let's go kill this group of Muslims. No, we're not obedient in that. Or let's go help the kuffar. No, we're not obedient in that. We don't obey them in these types of things. But anything else, yes.
Even if he says, obviously I already know the answer, but even if he says no, everyone boycott coffee, any kind of coffee.
If the wali al-amr commands it,
we have to obey.
We obey it. Yeah, if he says khalas, that's it. Anybody that tries to import like that type of stuff into the country is disobedient. Yeah. Especially when he's cutting off buying from the kuffar, for the benefit of the Muslims. And yeah, definitely you obey him in that. He said, well, hijrah. Hijrah what? Talk about this all the time.
I'll let them answer it.
From the medical blood.
Yeah, it's like we talked about, that you should never ever. These are the 5 things that he commanded. He commanded the jama'ah, sama' wa ta'a, al-hijrah. And the hijrah, that you should never ever be pleased living amongst the kuffar. You should always have the intentions to leave. And you should be making preparations in the best of your capabilities to leave. He said, "Wal jihadu fi sabilillahi azza wa jal," and fighting in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against the enemies that fight against this deen. He said, all right, so these are 4 things or are these 5 things? And jama'ah, but sama' wa ta'a are 2 different things.
What's that? Listen and obey.
Yeah, those are 2 things. So, al-jama'ah, wa sama' wa ta'a, wal hijrah, wal jihad. 5 things. All right, فَمَنْ فَارَقَ الْجَمَاعَ شِبْرًا, and whoever goes against the jama'ah and leaves out of the jama'ah what? Shibran. What? What is a shibr? Yeah. Like that, from here to here. From the top of your thumb to the top of your pinky. All right, because that's how the Arabs used to measure things. They used to measure like this. And they still do in Yemen. They do like this whenever they're measuring.
Oh, I remember in Sana'a, the guy, when we were putting curtains, he was going like this on the wall.
Yeah, they do this till today.
Still remember.
Yeah, still till today. And he'll just do that, and then he'll go down to the cloth and do that, and then he'll cut it out based on, it's like, dude, we have tape measures now.
The thing is, he did have a tape measure. That's the thing.
But
I've
he's gonna
seen it.
do it the way he did it. That's the way his father showed him how to do it. His grandfather. That's it. He's not gonna use that tape measure. He's like, no, this way works better.
What if it's like a quarter of a handspan?
Huh?
What if it's like a quarter of a handstand?
Everyone's
Dude,
gonna-
even a handspan, they never get it right anyways, trust me. That's why you're gonna see the doorways like this and the curtains this big.
The hands are not, the spans are not the same.
Yeah.
If the carpenter hand is this, and the person measuring the curtain is like this. And that.
No, he's gonna go down, but the thing is that even when you're
That's what
doing
I'm saying.
this,
I'm saying the
you
person
know-
who made the door, his handspan is gonna be bigger and wider
Mm.
than the one who's selling the cloth and material.
Yeah.
His hands are gonna be smaller.
Everybody's hands are different sizes.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying, even if he cuts it out by himself,
yeah,
he's the one that made the door, he's the one that's gonna make the curtain, or whatever it is.
yeah.
He's gonna get it wrong every time. Like, yeah, that's just like, you can get used to that. You go to Yemen, put a leveler on the floor, wallahi, you'll cry. You as a construction man, you will cry. Don't put a leveler on the floor. Take a cup of water and pour the water on the floor. And I'm telling you, the water will go off in 3-4 different directions.
Oh my
I
God.
cry
Yeah.
here. I cry here. I
Yeah.
walk in, I see a floor, doing this,
Oh my God.
doing this, doing this, doing this. I know who put the floor down. Some cheap labor. They went in. Got out of there.
The bathtub in Sana'a was.
I mean, that's how my floors are. The middle of the house is like a bowl, Yeah. I'm like, man, this house is gonna fall into the ground sooner or later,
I make
man.
sure all my
The
floors are
sinkhole's already in the middle of the house.
I make sure all my floors are perfect.
Yeah, see, that's why, I work construction with rednecks. Rednecks, what do they say? Measure twice and cut once. You know the saying, right? Yeah. Measure twice, make sure you got it right, cut once.
Yeah.
So so you see, when we were building it, everything's level, perfectly spaced. But now, when you go to Sana'a, you see like the doors is like, there's a gap like this much in the bottom and or on the top, and it's not the same gap even across. It's like this. It's like that. Because everything.
When I go back to open, I'll see you all the doorways to the house. I'll be sitting there sometimes, and I'll be wanting to fix something, and I just look at it in amazement. I'm like, just like you said, the door casing in the door in no part of the house lines up.
Mm.
Even the back of the door doesn't touch. The gap across the top of the door is like this, and then as it gets to where it closes, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
You get a
The
small
gap on
mouse come through
and
the top of the
and
door.
the gap on the bottom, it changes, but it doesn't match the gap at the top of the door either when the door is closed. The door is sitting like this.
That's a construction worker's nightmare right there, man.
Look at
That is yeah. That's why you see those houses. See, the thing about it is in Sana'a during the war, the beginning of the war, those rockets, you see, because the Houthis, they're smart. They use everything against Saudi Arabia. They say, oh, look at this, they're killing. No, they weren't killing nobody. They were bombing the airport on the first night of the war. They bombed the airport. Those houses around the airport over in that area up 16, they were so poorly built that when it started shaking, the houses started collapsing and killing the people in the houses because they weren't built to take that type of stuff. It was just very, very poor construction. Very poor construction of the houses. Because they're not built straight, so they're good for the weather and sun out, but I mean when you got a rocket coming in and shaking, I told you, man, those rockets, they one time we were in the house, we were like, this house is it's gonna fall. I felt the floor, literally, I felt my backside leave the floor. I was sitting down, and my wife was standing at the window, and I just felt the earth just move left and right, but I wasn't really, I felt my clothes touch the floor, not my backside. I told my wife, I said, you better get away from the window right now. Get away from the window. And she's like, I said, get away from the window, And then as soon as she got it back, you just see, shoo, the window just shot out, because the blast thing, because, huh?
The window broke.
No, we had the windows, you keep the windows open so they don't bust. If you close the windows, the pressure's gonna bust the windows. But she thought I was joking. She was like, because I said it calmly, I said, get away from the window. I said, huh, what's the problem? What's the problem? I'm like, oh man, you about to find out if you don't get away, man. That thing just shoof. You see, man, the windows flew like that, so you have to keep the windows open all the time. You don't keep those windows open, you ain't got no windows in your house. So that's what happened with a lot of, because Yemenis, they don't like to open windows. Especially the mukhazinin, right? They have to have all the windows shut. So when they drop those bombs in the area, all the windows are gone. Because all that pressure inside it just blows the window straight out. Yeah, you don't want that, man. You don't want that. I've seen that one time a restaurant exploded next to our house, man. And then we didn't even hear it, we couldn't even hear it. But I was walking, I was talking on the phone, and I saw the door. The door literally, it went into a U shape. It just blew in and then went out like that. Where I could look out, the door blew so far in that I could see into the corridor. And then it just boom like that.
It's straight out of a movie or something.
I looked at it, I said, man, I was on the phone, I was like, there's an explosion, I gotta get off the phone. I already knew, what was going on. I thought something, some terrorist car bomb or something, turn around. The restaurant exploded, man. Salam. Shout out Taz, Bi'r Ubaid, Bi'r Ubaid.
Yes.
There's a matam right there, قريب من الجامع.
تعال
Shout out Taz.
منطقة كويسة.
Well, matam, boom. It was a matam Eiffel Tower or something like that. Tazkuru. It was a good restaurant. But that thing blew up, boy. They were like, alhamdulillah, because they smelled the gas, and the gas they had a gas tanks underneath the restaurant, so they used to come in and fill up the gas tanks, and that's where they used to get the gas from. And they said they saw it leaking. The cook saw it, the gas that started shooting out. They said, everybody get out. Ooh, that was crazy, man.
It blew up.
Huh?
It blew up.
I think it just went boom,
The restaurant didn't blow up.
No, the roof and everything, but it was you could see it was just caught on fire after that.
So it got destroyed.
Huh? No, it was still standing. I was standing right there watching it in the middle of the street. It was all right. Huh? Let's finish this. All right. So he said, وَالْهِجْرَةُ وَالْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ فَمَنْ فَرَقَ الْجَمَاعَ شِبْرًا فَقَدْ خَلَعَ رِبْقَةَ الْإِسْلَامِ مِنْ رَأْسِهِ. Ribqa is a habl that they tie to the ghanam. They tie it in a way to keep the baby sheep from breastfeeding. So they tie it around its neck so it can't breastfeed. It can't la turabba. So this is what a ribqa is. So the ribqa, he said that, whoever goes against the jama'ah, whoever goes against, and leaves out of the jama'ah shibran, even that much, that handspan, he said, فَقَدْ خَلَعَ. Khala'a means that he is taken off. He's taken off the ribqa of Islam. So that thing that was tying him to Islam, that aqd that was keeping him into Islam, he's what? He's taking it out. He's taking it off. This is talking about Faraq al-Jama'ah here as it going against the Wali al-Amr and causing the chaos in the Muslim countries. It doesn't mean that the person left Islam, but his actions are not from Islam. The actions of khuruj, the actions of this type of disobedience are not from Islam. So if he's done this, then he's taken off that rope, that aqd of Islam. من رأسه إلا أن يراجع, except if he goes and returns and makes tawbah. And this hadith is of course authentic. Beautiful hadith. Beautiful hadith. You can give a whole khutbah just on this hadith alone.
Make that your next.
Or is it going to be a zuhd fi dunya?
Huh?
Zuhd fi dunya.
No, man, that's your khutbah, man. You wanted to do that. I told you.
Bashli.
Yeah. Well, we got to go. Sorry, we can't answer questions today. Inshallah, we'll try to look at the chat tomorrow and see the questions. Inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.